everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today's video is a Minerva.com fabric review video, and so I have actually 3 different garments to share with you, and actually one is a full pattern review because I've never done it before, and that is right here. Yeah, we have a visitor today, and I will go into why we have a visitor today. But anyway, as I said, I have 3 different garments for 3 different fabrics that I picked up, or that was sent to me from Minerva.com. So during this time, when I selected this fabric, it was a couple months ago, I was in this pink phase, and so everything is in the pink family, but it was very intentional. My goal was to make 3 different button-ups, and with the fabric that I had chosen, because I was thinking, oh, that would be so nice, have 3 different button-ups. I was thinking work, because I knew a couple months ago I needed to start filling my closet with some tops, and as you all know, I just purged my closet, and the tops I have, majority of them are sleeveless, and so I was like, I need some short sleeve for work, and I need some short sleeve for casual. Of course, I don't mind wearing sleeveless. Obviously, I have quite a few of them, but it's nice to mix it up and not have to worry about putting something on over it if I decide to go somewhere else. So that's where we are today. And initially, and I'll go over this as I'm going through the fabrics, initially all of the fabrics that I chose, like I said, were for button-ups. That was my goal. I was going to do 3 different button-up patterns. And here's the thing with my, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but just to reiterate, when I'm doing my Minerva.com reviews, my intention is to only use patterns for that, and not anything that's custom from my block. There might be a time or two where I will use something from my block, but I figure like that maybe the translation and use of the fabric will make more sense, and either an indie pattern or commercial pattern. So that is what I did with these 3 different pieces. So let's jump right into, I'll start with what I'm wearing. This is one of the casual tops that I end up making. So what happened was, once I received the fabric and I have some left over, I have enough left over. I'll tell you what I'll do with the leftovers in a second. So this first one I want to share with you, I'm not going to do a review on the pattern, but this is the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse with the flutter sleeve, and I did a full review because when I first did it, I did a flutter sleeve, I did the quarter length flutter, and I did the gather sleeve. So I'm not going to go into all of that. Same simple top, and I'll pop up pictures here to show you what I have on with it today. And today is a very casual day, a Saturday. We're going to the movies, and this is one of those purpose of this type of top that I can just throw on. I have on a jean skirt. However, the reason it is not a button up because it is much thinner than I anticipated. This here is actually a Floral Swiss dot fabric, and I'm looking at my notes. It's cotton, and it says it came that is soft. It softens up after you wash it. So when I first received this first 2 I'll talk about, they were a little stiff, but once I threw them in a cold wash and everything, they were fine. They did soften up. But this is the first one. This is the Floral Swiss dot. Hopefully the camera will zoom in and you can kind of tell that texture on there. There's a nice texture on there, if you can see. Hopefully you can see that. But it is thin. Now it's not so thin where I could have mounted it, I guess, you know, interlined it if I really wanted to do a button up, but I didn't feel like going through all of that. And so what I decided to do was do this Rhapsody blouse, because very simple. I can pull it together, and the fabric itself is nice enough where it will flow. This top flows with this fabric, and I thought the raised dots on it were really nice. Up beautifully. However, it's the sturdiness of it, I didn't think was for a button up, at least in my opinion. Maybe in this pattern, but I'll tell you who that is in a moment. But what I will do with the rest of it, because it is really nice, except I don't know, other than something flowy like this, or maybe a pajama top, or if you make dowel clothes, or if you make you can actually use this as a lining inside of a bag or a cosmetic bag, which I will do with the other fabric I'll show you shortly. And I probably will do with this too, because I do have big enough scraps where I can do something with it. But what I will probably do, if I line this inside of, say, a cosmetic bag, I will lay that clear vinyl over the top that you can iron on to make it waterproof, the waterproof vinyl. Yeah, because then there's enough, because I'm making some of those as gifts, there's enough of this that I can just do that, put that clear adhere the clear vinyl, waterproof vinyl over the top, and then at least I can use it as a lining inside of a cosmetic bag. But that's what I will probably suggest this for. My intentions on the stiff button up, that kind of stiff, not overly stiff. This I don't think is good for that, but it is a very, once it's washed, it is very soft, and you'll be able to see in the pictures, very nice and casual. Since I wasn't able to do what I was intending on doing, I decided to move to more of a casual wear, what I would do with this particular fabric. So that's what I came up with. And so that is the Floral Swiss dot, and it's 100% cotton, and I will be sure to leave links to all of the fabrics down below. Now my second item, again, I was planning on using this for a button up, because that's just what I had stuck in my head. And when I received the fabric, this one way more thinner. This is a Lady McElroy cotton voile in pink. And I have some scraps left over, and I will do the exact same thing. This could be used, actually I can see this one being used as pillowcases, but let me show you why, and I'll tell you what I end up doing with it. Once I received it, and this is double, I don't think you can tell, but I can see you clear as day. This is this is doubled up, and I can see through here clear as day. You probably can't see me, but this is single. And I don't know if you can tell. It is so thin, so thin. And I don't know that all Lady McElroys are like this, but this is a cotton wool. It's 100% cotton. This one is 58 inches wide, and it is a very pretty design. That's why I chose it. Look at that. I was like, ooh, that'll make up such a pretty button up, is what I was thinking. And but when I got it, I was like, oh no, it's too thin. And again, I did not want to interline it and go through all that mountain fabric on top of it and everything. So what I end up doing for that one is very simple. I made a pajama top. And you will not see me in this, because this thing, when I say this is some thin fabric, it is thin. So what top I made was pajama, well, it's actually a pajama gown. It's short, but this is the cashmere Springfield top. And what I did was, I don't know if you can tell, yeah, I kind of gathered it. I did an extra piece down here to kind of gather it across the bottom, and just lengthen it. That's all I did. And so for those who follow my channel, you know, for the cashmere Springfield top, I made adjustments to it. I did a sloping shoulder adjustment, and because it was gaping in the back for me, I did a gaping neck adjustment. And so if you are interested in, you're having those type of issues in your garments, I will leave a link right up here where you can click on that, and I walk you through the steps on how to fix your gaping neckline and fix the sloping shoulder. So I did that with that pattern, and all I did was just extend it, and I extended it down, and then I added on, measured out about how long I wanted this extra piece, and just added it on. But like I said, you're not going to see me in this because yeah, that is beyond inappropriate. But that is, which is nice, because you all know I live here in Texas, and so to have something like this casual just to lounge around in the house in is perfect. So especially, we're still getting 100-degree weather, so especially on days like this. So that's what I end up doing with the second piece. And for each of these, I'll let you know, but for each of these pieces, I will be doing 3 different blog posts for the 3 different pieces. And I'll let you know on my So Natural Dane Facebook page when those are live. I will leave the link over there. So if you're not following me on my Facebook page, the link is down below. Go ahead and like the page and follow what I post over there. So the final item I'm very excited about. This was the only fabric that I ordered out of the bunch that actually worked for a button up. And I'm happy about it, because I told you I loved all the fabrics when I saw them, but I really was so anxious to get this flamingo. This is a, if you can tell, let me see if, let me bring her in as much as I can. This is a, and why don't I just do this, because you don't need to see me. This is a repeat flamingo print cotton poplin. And it also comes in a turquoise and a lighter pink. This is only 45 inches wide though. But what I did with it was the silhouette patterns, the Craig blouse. And this is pattern number 425. It comes in sizes 1 through 4 and sizes 5W through 8W. And the measurements, so I cut out the range that was from 5W to 8W, and the range in the full bust is excuse me, 43 through 55. And so here's where I made some mistakes and why she is over here. Probably the first one that's probably pretty obvious is that it does not fit. And I love the way this top turned out. Let me get into this pattern. Oh, I will say, there is a video. Peggy does have a video here. If you follow Silhouette Patterns, you know she does the fit to stitch, and she always have her palm pattern of the month. And so she has a video on YouTube for this top, showing you different techniques and things. I didn't watch the video to sew this up because the instructions are really good. I mean, really good. So I didn't find a need for it. There's not a lot of pieces with this pattern. There's 8, but if you don't do the cuffs, and they're French cuffs, then it's 6. It's only 6 pieces. And so if you can see here, and I'll pop up a line drawing so you can at least see what I'm talking about when I talk about the gathered front. But if you can tell here, there is a gathered front, and I'm gonna try to move this back just a little bit. There is a gathered front. The pattern does come in cup sizes. I cut out the D cup. That is the highest cup it comes in. This is the D cup. I paired it here with some jewelry, and I just kind of popped the collar a little bit. I think that is really cute. What I found very interesting about this pattern is you can use either knit, woven fabrics, soft fabrics that gather well, wool, silks, or any lightweight fabric. Now I'm sure with the knit, and maybe she probably highlight this in the video, in her video, but I have to assume when she say knit, it's a staple knit. I can't imagine that it's anything very lightweight in knit, because then it'll just probably not hold its shape very well. Instead of the long sleeves, like I said, I did short sleeves, as you can see here. And then it only calls for 4 buttons on the front here, but when I tell you putting this pattern together was so easy. The collar, and I'll take this off in a second and give you a little closer up look. But putting the collar on, there is, you finish the collar. She tells you how to make sure you have nice pointed edges. Mine are okay, not bad. But how to have pointed edges instead of pivoting at the curve, you sew straight off, which I've seen that tip in a few different places before. She says that for this pattern, which I was very shocked, did not call for interfacing. That was actually optional. And I just knew with the button, it's not a full button placket, as you can tell, it's just 4 buttons, but I just knew at least this would be interfaced in the collar. But no, she said it was optional. But if you wanted to, she suggested using knit interfacing, and so that's what I did for the collar, because I wanted the collar to be a little bit more stable. And with this cotton voile, I don't know that it was all that necessary, but if I ever wanted to wear it up like this, I don't know that it would have stood up without the knit interfacing, if that makes sense. And so let me look at a couple of my notes. So her instructions are really clear. She kind of breaks it down into sessions because it's made to be a very easy make. And I will say, it really is an easy make. This gathering, there's a gathering guide in there, and you kind of measure that based on the cup size that you have cut out, and you gather it the way you do the placket. Okay, how come all patterns, the button placket can't be finished the way hers is? So easy, so easy. And even, and I'll show you in just a second, even the facings, because this is a facing here, these pieces that go into the placket, even the facing piece, usually in patterns you have to go back in and tack the facing pieces into the shoulder somewhere. Not with hers. When you're sewing up the collar piece, and after you sew the bottom, at the bottom, is in there. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need to tack this down and so it doesn't move. So I want to make one of these again, like super soon, However, I looked at the pattern once. My mistake. I looked at the pattern once and I saw, oh, 51, and I read it because the measurements on the back are all finished garment measurements, and I read it and I saw, oh, 51 inches full bust waist. Oh, yep, that'll work. Then look at it again and cut out all the pattern pieces, and I'm just sewing the thing up. Didn't measure anything, just because there's a reason why she says on here finished garment measurements. You need to pay attention to that. Because I would have went up a size. This is a 7W. I would have made the 8W because I made it in my exact body measurements, which means what? It's too tight. I needed some ease. So I should have cut the 8W, which was 55 inches, and that would have gave me the ease I was looking for. Nice movement, everything. This thing, it buttons up at the top here, but yeah, it barely, and I couldn't even just put it on to show it to you. Yeah, it's gonna wait, but I love this top so much. This is staying in my closet. This is a go weight top. Now the other thing, not sure if you were able to notice, actually let me pause and take it off the mannequin so you can see. I'm back. So when, like I was saying about putting the collar down, look at that. It just goes down. You fold it under this collar piece and you just place it on top into the seam, and then you just edge stitch. You just edge stitch it around and you don't have to worry about anything. This is probably one of the cleanest collars I've ever had. Let me just show you here. Look at that. That's the inside. I'm sorry, this is the outside. This is the inside. And when I was talking about, let me unbutton this. When I was talking about the facings on the inside and how it finishes off, and I never wipe off my markings, my removable marker, so you'll see that on here. I always forget. But see how that finishes? That's the collar. So it's already catching right there. And then this piece, it just finishes in there. And then look for the bottom, once you turn that bottom up, and her finishes are real simple. She does say this pattern is meant to be serged, the whole thing, but you can actually stitch and then serge, and that's what I did. Just because I wanted to make sure I was staying at the right width. But at the bottoms, all you're doing is serging the bottom and turning it up. that's it. And I love it too because all of my whole button placket lines up perfectly. And so y'all know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I've had issues with that in the past with button ups. But even the sleeves, simple, serged and turned under. And the other thing that did not go the way it's supposed to, but look, first I want to show you this. Look at that. Isn't that gathering is just so pretty. And you just lay this placket right over that, and you do 2 stitches down the front, which you can't see because I used the white thread. But the other thing, can you tell where I made a big mistake? Because somebody is not used to working with directional prints very often. I laid that fabric, y'all, on my cutting table, not paying attention to which way the flamingos were going, and end up cutting the front pieces and my sleeves with the flamingos upside down. Let me see if you can tell. Can you tell? They are all upside down. And because it's such a very small print, I'm not overly disappointed about it, but at the same time it's like, urgh. But the back is just fine. The back is just fine. Look at that. They just walking in the right direction, right side up. But everybody else is upside down. So that is my error. Obviously, I just wasn't paying attention when I was laying the pattern pieces down, because I'm thinking, oh, let me preserve as much fabric as I can. And I got 2.5 yards of everything, and I think I have maybe a ½ yard left of this, and it is so pretty. But again, this will make a very lovely lining, pockets, whatever's left. I would do pockets out of this or something like that. Maybe my next pair of jeans, I can save that fabric and use it for what I think there's enough for me to do a waist, maybe get a waistband and some pockets out of it. Maybe that's what I'll do with the leftovers from this. So that is those are my makes for today. And let me just look at what I did want to mention, how long it took me to make this, the silhouette patterns, 2.5 hours. I did make sure I wrote down the time to make it. The other adjustment I will make the next time I make this, it did come off a little short. I am 5'7", and this I probably would lengthen, because see how it is not meant to be overly long. See how where it hits her, like right there. But for me, I think it was 2 inches. I don't know that I read in here the height that this pattern would have been good for. But I need to lengthen it a good 2 inches, because it was almost just below my waistline. Okay, so like I was saying, it didn't take me, 2.5 hours for my first time. I can see the next time it might not take as long, because it really is a very, very good. So, and if you follow Peggy here on YouTube, Silhouette Patterns, you know she goes into a lot of different techniques, and she gives a lot of really good tips in there. Her Fit to Stitch series is pretty good too. But yeah, that is all I have today. These are my Minerva.com fabrics. Like I said, the first 2 were very stiff until I washed them, and then they softened up. This here, this cotton poplin, is a very nice, I wouldn't say it's drapey, but it's a very nice fabric as well, and it's sewed up beautifully. I really love the hand of this one. Sewed up so nicely, and I love my flamingos even though they're upside down. But anyway, that is all I have today. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I will leave links to all of the fabrics down below. So that is it. Stay tuned for Wednesday. Have a very special and fun video coming up for you. A nice little surprise. I'm finally going to reveal that special fabric that I picked up from A to Z Fabrics that I said I will share in the future. I will share share that with you on Wednesday. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to like my Facebook page if you don't mind. And yeah, we will see you on Wednesday. Have a great week. Bye.